See, since I missed last week, I know I couldn't miss 2 weeks in a row. I was in Vegas. Kind of want to get this started. Got to kind of ramble till people will show up. There is so much. Because I went to Vegas, spent 7 days up there, had a freaking great time. Didn't play any ball. It was freaking awesome though. And met a lot of people. I stayed over to the managers meeting. I was there doing podcast, and then managers meeting. I did a first on the first week for the 55s and 60s. I was there and did a podcast on Sunday too for the 70, 65 and 70s, and met a bunch of people there too. That was surprising to me because I didn't think I had that reach on the 65 and 70s, that big of a reach, but apparently I do. I want to talk about a few things and kind of talk about a bunch of things that a lot of people have been talking about out there, and just kind of ramble a little bit here at the beginning. Guys, Facebook, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I have a membership channel on YouTube, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And then what you can do on that membership channel, you'll learn a bunch of stuff about bats, about working out, about kind of like the supplements that I take that I'm gonna actually talk about here in a minute. And a lot of questions that you guys ask me, I'll answer them on my weekend, on my Friday night Facebook Live podcast. You call it a podcast. I'm not talking to anybody. Somebody might chime in here next week or something. I don't think I'm going to have one today, but I've set up. I talked to Kirby Murphy the other day too, which actually went over pretty good. And my wife Tammy actually chimed in a little bit there. You know, get her going. You know, and I want to get her involved a lot more because she's a girl that has competed at the top level and has traveled, played shortstop, third base, carried a high batting average, does a lot of the same things that I do, nutrition-wise, working out-wise. She eats very good, takes care of herself. She just turned 54 the other day, and she looks great. So genetics for one. But you got to keep up with that genetic by actually taking care of your body too. So she can talk about different things that she's taking or she's eating or something. I want to get her more involved in the future. There's a lot of people like when she chimes in every once in a while, or pictures that we take together, especially. Membership channel. I've got YouTube. Guys, go over there and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And the sad part about it is I get a lot of people watching me on YouTube, but only 30% of the people who watch my YouTube channel are subscribers, and it doesn't take much. The one thing I talked about, seniors, especially in those 65, 70-year-old guys, a lot of them don't like Facebook. A lot of them don't like YouTube. Guys, if you just get on there and subscribe to me, you know, if you just get on there and you friend me or follow me on Facebook, if I'm the only one you have to be in touch with everything that's going on. You got to be in touch with nutrition, especially if you're out there and you're playing like, you know, like everybody out there that watches this. You know, I see a lot of you guys are up in the 40s that are up in Vegas. It's Saturday, some Friday night. You should be turning in early. Your pool games are done, so you should be turning in early, and then getting ready to play bracket play tomorrow. Yes, it is 40s, and but I talk to a lot of guys that don't have Facebook, and I'm not going to get to you right now, but I want a lot of you guys out there that higher, you know, that higher age bracket, kind of get your buddies on Facebook. I have 2 guys that I hang with that actually hit with me that are not on Facebook. And I told them, just get on there and follow me or friend me. Don't talk to anybody else. Don't friend anybody else. If you feel that bad about Facebook, or even YouTube. I know YouTube's censoring a lot of things right now, and I'm trying to watch my words on what I say. I don't want to get censored. I don't want to talk about I can't talk about COVID because I went through that. I was in the hospital. There are certain things that I do, and there's certain side effects that it actually affected me to this day. And I've talked to Bubba about it because Bubba was in the hospital for, I think, 8 days. And I talked to him, and we have the same symptoms even to this day from the COVID virus and what we are doing right now not to get anymore. I have not got it again. I am I just got it the other day. It's been 3 years, guys, and I'm on this study. Texas Cares is what it is. And they draw my blood every once in a while to see if I still have the antibodies from 3 years ago. They don't tell me anything. They just tell me they don't tell me how much I have. They just tell me if I have the antibodies for the COVID virus. I just got hit up again. After about 8 months, I just got hit up again the other day, asked me if I wanted to come in and do some more testing. I said, yes, I want to do that. I have not taken a vaccine. I don't even know if I can say that, but I have the antibodies. So why would I take the vaccine? So I know there's going to be one day where I don't have them anymore, and I don't know when that's going to be because, depending on what the test results come back on this recent one, and I'll let you guys know. But I can't talk about it. I can't talk about anything with that. I can't talk about, here's another thing too, what I heard about if I talk to you about a supplement, if I talk to you about a S.A.R.M.S, selective androgen receptor modulator, if I talk about MK677, it's actually going to be flagged because it's not approved by the FDA. And they only want people like me, and I am an influencer, right? Talking about things that they approve of, which I think is bullshit because I believe in bro science. I believe in you have a doctor writing you scripts, and I think there's other ways to take care of that. I was talking about high blood pressure. I was talking about cholesterol. I've maintained my cholesterol levels. They're trying to force me on cholesterol medicine, some kind of statin drug. I don't like what they do to my body, so I kind of changed my diet to lower my cholesterol, and it has worked. But if I get up here and I preach about it, right? If I preach about it, what's going to happen is they're going to flag me because it goes against what they're wanting you to do. They want you to take that. They want to sit there and write your script, and they want you going through there. I need to get off of that. So anyway, if you got somebody that wants to tune in, just have them where if they tune in, they can just subscribe to me or friend me, and then they can listen to what I have to say about all these bats I'm fixing to show you. I was up in Vegas. I spent $1,500, $1,500 on bats. I brought back 17. Some were given to me to actually try and let me know what I thought about them. A lot of you guys, you see the bat bag? You see it right there? Guys, y'all probably already know this, but the blue one that was back there never got to see the field. It did, but it was broke. I flew up Southwest, got off the plane in Vegas, and something had ran over my bat bag, kind of tore it up. And right away, this is another thing too, guys. If you ever have anything, always check your stuff coming off that conveyor belt because it looked like it fell off the trailer and back tires ran over it, up where the handle's at. I noticed it when I tried pulling the handle out and I couldn't get it out. And I'm like, what's wrong? So I looked at it and it was all tore up. And right away, I took it in Southwest, kind of bullshitted with them for about 30 minutes. And they wanted to fix it. I'm like, no, you can't fix this. And then they wanted to go up on their website and pick a bag of their choice and swap it out. And I go, no, because you don't have a bat bag. And okay, we can give you a $300 credit voucher. I said, I will take that. And it was the only bag. It was only the bag that was damaged. I had some bats in there that I thought I was going to get up there in time to hit. The Big League Dreams do a Facebook Live there with some bats. And I couldn't get there in time. So I pulled out every bat. The bats were not damaged. So Bubba has it now. So it's actually went to Bubba. The funny part about it is, guess Carlos follows me, and I posted pictures, and I get up there and I'm walking in front of the Onyx tit, and he yells, "Dave, you need a bat bag?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, man." So they gave me a bat bag to take all those bats back with, to put into it so I can bring those bats back. 17 bats, dude. That's hard. That's hard. Luckily, I stuck some in that proton bag, and then in my travel bag, I stuck some in there too. 31 people. Let's get started. The shavers, the bat shaving people were in full force in Vegas. I heard them. I heard them everywhere. I was everywhere, guys, and I heard them everywhere. And guys have to remember, and a lot of people ask me, can you tell? Damn right you can tell. A lot of tournament directors out there can tell. A lot of umpires out there can tell if somebody's swinging a shaved bat. Not only can I tell by sound, I can tell by the performance of the bat. If you're swinging a bat that doesn't get no performance that we have swung, and you're hitting them a lot further, then that's a big red flag for me too, because these guys that are doing it aren't as big as, I have a Bubba, right? I have a Bubba. And Bubba swings stock bats all through. He knows how they perform. Bubba can actually tell better than me because he's swung those bats before. And he's got, leverage. He's got bat speed. He's got torque. He's got everything. Shit, his dad was Bill Blake. So he can actually tell better than I can. I can tell by sound. He can tell by sound. But they were in full force in Vegas, just to let you guys know. And I'm not talking about upper class, lower class. I'm not dividing the shit. They were everywhere. What's up, Chino? They were everywhere. I heard it all, And unless they're in the arrogance to, it's just, I don't want to get too far into it. I'll just bring it up every week so it doesn't die. But the people that are doing it are just so arrogant about doing it. And I'm afraid with these, what I see now, worse than I've seen it ever, is the young kids are coming in, 39-year-old guys, and they're doing it. And I don't think it's as frowned upon in your USSSA as it is in seniors, because we are slower. And here's another thing I always hear, and I've heard it in the last couple of weeks because I wasn't on last week, is it's a senior bat. Who cares about bats? It's a senior bat. Well, your bat speed is 100 miles an hour. You shouldn't be answering anything. When somebody asks what's the best bat out there, if your bat speed is 100 miles an hour, you should have no input, because every bat in your hand is lethal. Every bat in your hand, swinging it, is a badass bat because your bat speed's up there. So when these guys are pushing bats and their bat speed's in 100, and these other guys, this is why we're here. You heard Chino. You're going to Trey. He's going to chime in here. This is the reason why I started doing this 14 years ago, going on 15, is because guys, big muscle. Billy Bubba was talking about it in a video the other day, and he batting that guy's hand he's going to get great performance. Well, what happens to the older seniors is they watch this, they see it, and they go out and buy that bat, but it doesn't perform for them. And I've talked about this last weekend. Is guys were telling me such and such. I saw him on video, and he said this bat was hot, but it sucks for me. I'm looking at him, and the guy's 60 years old. At least put a disclaimer in your videos, big boys, that you're putting out there, like, this bat is good in my hands because my bat speed is 100 plus miles an hour. That way you're not getting, it's all about selling shit too. That's what pisses me off. It's all about selling bats. I'm gonna get on a little tirade here, and I don't want to. It's all about selling bats. I mean, you don't care if the guys with the lower bat speed benefit or not. You don't give a shit about that. Lately it has gone that way because I see a change in softer barrels, miking. So it's all about, and I see a lot of videos, it's all about selling. It's all about money, They don't care if you can swing it or not. You see them swinging it, and they're hitting bombs on it. So you get out there, shit, I'm gonna go buy one of those because I can hit a bomb. But that doesn't work that way. And I've been trying to tell people for 14 years it does not work that way. It's bat speed. So I get the guys chiming in about, wait, any bat, it's a senior bat, just pick it up and swing it. No, it's not. Okay, tell me that when you're 65. If you keep going, just tell me that when you're 65 about the bat speed. You know, you go, damn, you remember that old guy used to talk? Remember that old guy used to talk a long time ago? He was right. Y'all, I know it's backwards. I know it's backwards. Liquid IV, that's the sugar-free, right? It does not have aspartame in it. It doesn't have artificial sweeteners. 2 sweeteners in this. It's stevia and there's another sweetener. I can't even look at it now. There's another sweetener on it. It's from raisins, and it does not raise your insulin levels. It's good for diabetic. So that's a good right there. The regular one, it has 11 grams of sugar, so it's still good. Still not like Gatorade. Gatorade's what I say the other 42, 20. Pedialyte's 25. The other one's 11. This one's 0. 0 sugars in it. The sugar that actually makes insulin spike. You know, with those spikes. Damn, got me off topic there. So going into that, I'll talk about that one in a minute. I'm kind of getting rid of shit here. I just read, it's called Liquid IV. Okay, I was talking about that. Let me go ahead and finish what I was talking about. You guys are in Vegas. There's a couple things that I want you to do when you're in Vegas. For one, grab you some Liquid IV, not Gatorade, not Pedialyte, Liquid IV. You know, and I don't get paid to do this shit. They don't give me kickbacks. They don't give me kickbacks on this. Go down and buy you some. Start hydrating 2 days for the tournament. You know, and I'm not talking about you gotta take this all day long. I don't want you taking this all day long. Take the night before you go to bed, take it the next morning, sip on it, and then water the rest of the day. That night when you get back in, if you're playing 2 pool games like you did yesterday, like a lot of guys did today and yesterday, is you're gonna hydrate that night, go to bed, take one again in the morning. You don't wanna do all this stuff all day long. You don't wanna get puffy from the sodium. So that's what you're gonna do. Water all day long, nothing beats water. You guys are up there. I was up there last week for 7 days. It was 95 degrees. It was hot. Excuse me. Liquid IV. Better yet, before you guys go up there a day or before you liquid drip, the IV drip, you know, you guys can have put in your arm. You get up there, have a drip, takes 45 minutes. That would be the best thing to do. Get hydrated before you go up there. Any big tournament, I always do this too, especially if I'm playing. You know, day before you go, get a liquid drip, IV drip. It's got other stuff in it. Somebody was asking me the other day what it had in it. I started explaining to them, you know, a lot of vitamins, B vitamins that one of them does have in it. And then, you know, it depends on which one you get. And they're not cheap. When you get back, do the same thing. Get that liquid IV again in your body. One thing I want you guys to do, and I don't think I talked about this, and I do it all the time. I've been doing it for years. Fasting. When you guys are finished playing, I did it the other day just because this is how I do it. I've always done it, even though I didn't play. I actually did a lot of walking around and talking to people. When you guys are up there and you are done with a tournament, find a way on your way back where you can fast for 24 hours. Guys, I know that's starting off, that's kind of hard. Do 16 at least. Try to work for 24 hours. What happens when you fast is your HGH levels, human growth hormone, actually, your pituitary gland starts to release. It starts to just pulsate human growth hormone whenever you're fasting. Well, what does human growth hormone do? Human growth hormone actually heals everything. It actually repairs everything, okay? If you're playing ball and you're up there and you're playing and you are just dead ass tired, the best thing that you can do, one of the best, not the best thing, one of the best things that you can do is actually fast after you're done. you know, eat you a meal, or you know, when you're done. I don't even eat. Like if we're done on Saturday afternoon, I don't eat till the next day, the next night, because I've trained my body where I can do that. I don't have to have food in me right after I eat. So I'll train my body where what's happening is when I don't fast for that long of a time, my body's being repaired a lot faster, because what you find out was the pituitary gland pulsates, like increases by 1,000%. I think it's even more, but I'm gonna throw 1,000% out there because that's a big number, and actually will pulsate. You'll release growth. It's releasing growth through your body. It's releasing growth through your body. So what happens is you repair. Everything starts to rebuild a lot faster because HGH, human growth hormone, your body pulses it. It actually will help you grow. It will actually help you repair, not necessarily grow too much, because it doesn't put on big muscle mass. The kind that's pulsing. It actually helps your brain, helps your body, helps tendons. Like, okay, here's another thing too. Whenever you guys have that knee, I've seen a lot of guys having their knees done, a lot of guys having their back done. What I did whenever I was injured, with my knee, because I did a lot of fasting when I actually tore my meniscus. I did a lot of fasting. When I hurt my back, I did a lot of fasting. Dude, Charlie, that's badass. So I did a lot of fasting. That helps. It produces human growth hormone, which actually repairs. So it helped my back, it helped my knee. So I'm a firm believer, and any kind of surgery that you get done to your body, automatically start to fast. That's my it's just easy. You don't eat, you know, water, that's it. That's all I would ask you. Just not even the Pedialyte, because you don't want anything messing with insulin. So Pedialyte, no. Gatorade, no. Just water the whole time that you're doing it. And you guys, it's easy too, especially if you're coming back from a tournament, because usually you're in flight, you know, you don't want to eat, you just basically starve for 24 hours. You'll find out that you'll feel a lot better, you'll recover a lot faster. So that's the thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Another thing too, and I'm gonna kind of go back and forth here, guys. There was I talked about that. There was somebody that gets on there, and this is what really gets me. And I'm not calling them misinformation, but what I'm doing is, somebody got out there and they're sponsored by, I'm trying not to say the name, because they're sponsored by a big bat company, and they start talking about bats. And this one person got out there and they said they start off with a heavy bat. I can't even say the name of the bat, a 1 ounce end load. And then as the tournament goes on, and if they get tired, they go to a balance bat. If you guys watch any of my stuff, I've been 14 years, I keep bringing that up, but I just want to let you know, I've been talking about that for 14 years. That's the worst thing that you can do when you're playing a tournament, is drop them a big ass 1 ounce end load and drop down to a balance. Especially the balance points kind of messing up on it, because you want to get your, I'm going to go walk right into something else too. You're going to get your balance points, and all of a sudden you're swinging that big 1 ounce end load, and then all of a sudden those balance points are going to change at this side. It's going to just take a few games to get used to that swinging weight. So you're not really going to perform as good. You might perform good, but here's the deal about me, guys. I've honed this where I don't want to make it out. I start a tournament, I don't want to make it out. And if I do, I try not to make 2 outs. So that's the way I approach the game. I want about 1,000 every time I walk in. I do not swap bats. In my bag has 2 bats. It's my gamer and my backup, and that's it. My backup's going to be as good as my gamer, but my gamer is going to have 600-700 swings on it. That's going to be my gamer. But if you're swapping bats, basically what you're doing is you're changing balance points all in that barrel, and your swing is going to be all screwed up. So when this person got up there, who is admired by a lot of people, Chino, killing me. When you're admired by a bunch of people, you start talking, people start to believe you. So they'll take that into a game, and they'll try it, and then they'll suck at it, And it's just not, it's not, you know, Billy even talks about this too. Billy walks into a game, Bubba walks into a game, you know, they'll have one bat, two bats in their bag, and that's it. That's all they swing. In my opinion, this is just me. The guys talk about this too, and hopefully they're spreading the word too. Is in my opinion, if you're weak, you know, in a tournament, you're doing something wrong. You're not preparing, you're not eating, you're not resting. So you should never get tired. And here's the deal too. I don't care if it's 95, 100 degrees outside. Now, you guys in the outfield, I'm gonna talk about something too in a minute. That's actually you guys. Well, you don't play the outfield. Well, I'm gonna tell you guys what you need to do after, when or during playing the outfield. I had one here a minute ago. Anyway, I'll get it. It's right here. So if you got 3 days to play, right? So you need to be eating right. You need to be resting. You need to be hydrating, okay, properly. Because anytime you lose strength, you're lacking one of those. You're lacking hydration, which you can lose up to 40% of your strength, or you can lose sleep. You lose sleep, right? So if I know I'm going to get to you. If you're losing, like you're not hydrated, 40% of your strength is gone. So it's not the bat's fault. It's actually your fault for not preparing. Then what you're going to do is you're going to sleep 8-10 hours. Get your ass out of the casino. You know, go in there and sleep. So if you're dropping sizes in bats, you're moving the balance points around, especially on a lot of bat companies out there that have different balance points as they go up. They don't go in half-ounce increments, like half an ounce on each side to go up to 1 ounce. If they're moving that around, which a lot of bat companies do, you're going to be off. Your swinging weight's going to be different. Your swinging, the balance points are going to be different, with your timing's going to be different for a few games. But guys, if you're like me and you don't want to make that out, that's a big to me. I mean, I'm usually competing with somebody on my team. So I'm picking somebody out that's a very good player, and I compete against him. Charlie Mueller's one of them. I competed against him. I've seen him. I would actually compete, and he knows it. You know, I need that drive. When I'm in the game, I need that person. You know, I need Charlie there. I need Bubba there. Been it with Bubba for 17 years, you know. So yeah, I need that. So to beat him, I need to be at my best to beat them. So that's how I go into a tournament. If you're up and down, you're already if somebody comes up to me and goes, I'll bet you $1,000 I can out hit you. I'll look into his bag. I say, what bat you swinging? He goes, all of them. I go, okay, you got it. I'll bet you $1,000. That's how I take it down, and every time I say we, I mean us, the guys that actually hit with me. We take it down to where we're actually prepared. My guys got mad. Chino will tell you this. He got mad at me on yesterday. We didn't hit, and he's preparing for next week because he's going to Vegas, right? So he's mad because I could not hit yesterday. And he got the hit. He went out and hit, but he didn't hit with us. So we didn't hit. He went out and hit. So you got to be prepared when you go to this. You got to prepare for it 3-4 days out. You got to hydrate. So when somebody's out there talking about, well, this, and it's so funny because the two bats she mentioned, she actually repped. And that's who she repped them for. So you're going to go out there and buy 2 bats from a balanced and a big ass envelope from this company, and you're going to spend all that money, and you're going to have a 500, 600 bat average. Oh, same bat, guys. I don't care what. Pick one from my top 10. You got a fast bat speed, go over there. You know, medium bat speed, go here. Slow bat speed, go there. Pick one of the top 10, you know, 2 of them. Put them in your bag, whatever ones you like. I'm going to tell you how to pick whatever one you like here in a minute, which takes me into this. I had a great time in Vegas. I talked to a lot of people, and I kept texting my guys back. This is big. Did I ever think, like Carlos set me down, and I was tired, and I was sitting in his booth, and he goes, you ever thought it was going to get this big? I said, no. I never thought that people would catch on what we were trying to preach about, you know, balance points and barrel flexes and handle flexes. You know, I never thought it was going to get like this. I really didn't. And kind of like when you, and guys out there, and they're actually, oh my God, you know, it's like, I'm a little embarrassed guys will ask me to take a picture with them. I'm a little embarrassed because I don't think I'm that guy. You know, I'm that humble guy. That I'm just trying to do something to help you guys out. And I'm like, I tell my wife, I'm a little uncomfortable. And she's like, well, why? Because you get out there and you talk and you're on this, Facebook, and I got 46 people right here. And by tomorrow I'll have by tonight I'll have 1,000 people watching this already. And I appreciate that. I really do. I'm just humbled where I'm glad it's going, because if it can make you healthier, if it can make you pick the right bat where you're not spending a lot of money, and that's basically what we're here for. Pick the right bat where it doesn't spend a lot of money, and get healthy and put a few years on your life. If I can save one person, I can quit and I'm happy. If I can save one person, sleep apnea or any other thing that I talk about that you guys need to check, especially a doctor. I go see a doctor every 4 months, 5 months, I go see a doctor. I see my cardiologist, which I don't have any trouble there, thank God, because I did eat really good for most of my life. And I get out and I exercise. I'm not on the couch. I get up, I do shit. I constantly am doing something. So I was in Patty's booth, and what I did was I sat down and I was buying 2 bats from her. And always what I do is I scale, right? So I had my scale in my hand, and I just walked up there and I had a bat tape. I had bat tape on one side and a scale in the other. And I sat there at her booth and I started asking her for bats. So, 20, 26.5, 27.5. And then she was giving them to me. There were the new bats that are out. I'll show them to you here in a minute. And all of a sudden I got a crowd. I got a crowd watching. I got a crowd watching, and they're going, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, and I go, "Yeah, you're the guy from YouTube." And I go, "Yeah." And I go, "Well, I don't look at your weights. I don't look at anybody bat manufacturer weights. The way I do it is, and you guys need to do this too, is I scale my bats, because in my mind I have a number that I swing very well. Okay, and in my mind I have what is really a balanced bat. I have what a 1/4 ounce, 1/2 ounce, 3/4 ounce, and 1 ounce end load. Nobody else has that, but I have it somewhere, right? I'm gonna get to that in a minute. So I start scaling, and I'm asking her for different sizes, because I thought the 26.5 was gonna be a lot heavier, and it wasn't. So it wasn't like the other company's bat that I got. So I got a 27.5. Started loading that. I said to the cycle, that's my weight, right? I want that weight. And then I got another one that was a 27.5, and it was too light on the end. So I went up, and it was too heavy on the hand. So I'm like, shit, what do I do about this one? Well, I got the heavier one, because big mass on the end with performance. So I go light on the end. So I'll swing the one with a heavier mass on the end and a heavier hand weight. It won't be a good review, but neither will the light one be, because I had no mass on the end. So it's a 17-ounce end load, and I've got 10.5 on the hands. That's not gonna look good. It's gonna look good for a balanced bat, but that's it. And I'll say it, this is a balanced bat. When you go 10 on the hands, it's a balanced bat. You got Carlos, and you got Short Porch, and you got California Bat Company. They got 8 on the hands, and you're putting a 10.5 on the hands. That's a balanced bat when theirs are 3/4 ounce end loads. So all of a sudden, I get the questions. Why are you doing that? And I start telling them I have something in my mind. Well, somebody says, well, okay, also they start gathering around, they listening, and I start talking to them about balance points and what's better for your swing. And this one guy goes, well, this is the bat, and he has, what would you suggest? He asked me, what would you suggest? Because this is the best bat I've ever swung. I bat 900 in it one tournament. I love it. I stick with it. I love the way it feels. I go, let me have it. I checked the balance points, right? I set it up at a 16.5 on the end. I said, remember that number, 16.5. Flopped it around. On the knob, it had a 9.5. I said, that's your balance point. You hit good with this bat. That's your balance point, right? Mine is I can tell you what Clem's, I can tell you what Trey's balance points are at. I can tell you what Bubba's are. I can tell you what Clem's. I can tell you what Mark Reed's are, balance points are. So Chino, not so much, because Chino's kind of up there. He went from a balance to an end load, so it's kind of hard to figure him out yet because he hits very good with a lot of them. So I said, that's your number. Now what you want to do is, now you get your scale, and you need to remember that number. Now you get your scale, and you need to grab those balance points off any other bat with a high performing barrel. Now, if it doesn't have a high performing barrel, your swing's gonna feel good, but you're gonna get no performance on the barrel. So it's, this is what it's turned into, guys. So you pick a top tier bat, right? Because I can tell you what a high performing barrel is, right? So you pick a top tier bat that's up there in the top tier, that I got them up there. You go to my website, seniorsoftballbatreviews.com, pick a top tier bat out of there and find out which one of those is comparable to your balance points of that old bat you used to have. Guys, remember this bat? This is our OG. This is original. Has serial number on it, right? The balance. This is a. Hang on, I'm gonna tell you. I'll give you a little one here. This is a 27 ounce, right? Your balance points on this is 27 on the 26.4, 16.8 on the end, 9.5 on the hands. On the 20, this on a 27 ounce. If you love this bat, back in the day, I love this bat. So my balance points are 16.8, 9.5. I can do a 9 because that's just going to get a little more end load, a little more whip. Okay, so that's going to be your numbers. Now here's the kicker, right? Because this guy had a 13-inch barrel. You can't take these balance points and go different size barrels. So what you want to do is, this is a 12-inch barrel. So I would pick out a 12-inch barrel with those balance points, because if you go to the 13-inch barrel, it's going to mess it up a little bit, right? A little bit. You can probably get away with it, but it's going to mess up a little bit. But I don't want a little bit, right? Remember what I told you about? I only want to make 0 outs. So that little bit's going to hurt me if I make 2 or 3 outs. If I if I make 1 or 2 outs, I'm pissed, you know. And then I'm actually not going to swap, but I'm focusing on base hitting a lot. So if I make 1 or 2 outs, so I want to keep that high average, right? So if these are your balance points, and I just told them to you, this is on a 12-inch barrel. You can't go a 14-inch barrel and expect, because the balance points move a little bit on that 14-inch barrel, just a little bit. But I'm about tweaking everything down and getting everything zoned in. But talking to you guys at that booth was freaking awesome. And I was there for 2 hours talking. What actually I liked is, and I'm talking about this game, this getting real big here. And my guys, I actually told Bubba this. I didn't tell Chino and them this, but what happened was, I was watching the big boys play. And I was walking around and just watching, see what was going on. And I seen this team was setting out, and I'm not going to say the guys' names, but this team was setting out. They're waiting for the guys to come up from the third and fourth, second and third place, come up and have to double dip them. It was great, actually. That was really good. We had it in the room that afternoon on the salmon. That was I need to talk to you later about how that was made, but it was very good. So what I did was, they called me over there, and I started talking to them, and they had a guy that was talking to me, and he was talking about, he's trying to get everybody to convert on what he does and what I do, right? About balance points, you know? And he said, you know how messed up I am on this? He whips his phone out, and I almost cried. He almost had a tear in my eye. Not really, but he whips his phone out, and on his phone, it had a list of all the bats on balance points. It had total weights, it had end load weights, and it had hand weights on this side. So I was like, holy shit, you know, you're like me. And he goes, Dave, ever since I've heard you back in the day, I started doing this, and it actually has helped. It's helped, it's tweaked, it's tuned his swing. Basically what it does. And that's basically what we do. And Billy will talk to you about this if you ever get him private talking about this. It's a tuning. It's a tweaking little thing. So actually make you hit that. If you're hitting, a lot of guys, well, I hit 750 last week. Well, shit, I want to try to hit 1,000, man. I don't want to try to hit 750, right? Love to hit 750, but I'm trying to hit 1,000. So this is the reason where this would actually help those guys. And then I have the other guys who are going, oh, I can hit there. Okay, all right. You're not the guy that I'm talking to then. You know, if you can hit anything and you're that freak, everybody's not like you. Everybody's not like you. There's more of me out there than there is more of you. There's not that many naturals out there that can do the shit, all right? But I listen to them, and I'll sit there, okay, like the other day, there's something going on, what is okay, here's the deal too. This came out the other day, man. What is the best balanced bat out there? Here come the reps. Boom, 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 right after another. Just started. And I was looking, I'm going like, okay, I'll come back to that in an hour, right? Hour goes by, I come back to it. Nobody actually asked this guy what his bat speed was. Nobody. They start throwing bats out there, and this bat is better, and this bat, and giving their own opinion. How the hell do you know? How are you guys out there throwing that shit out there? How do you know? How do you know if this guy's not 75 years old and he's got a 50-mile-an-hour bat speed and you're throwing a Dudley Nifong at him? He's not going to have that bat before him. You know? What if he swings 100 miles an hour? You know? 100 miles an hour and you're throwing a soft-ass barrel at him. He'll get better performance on a bat that's in that top tier. That 90, 95, 100 mile an hour, zone right there. So he'll get a bat that implodes on him. So I even said all these answers to what this guy was asking, and nobody's asked what his bat speed was. I didn't even ask what his bat. I was just asking those guys a question. They're out there trying to sell a product. And guys, I understand you got to sell a product. I understand that. It's just very seldom do I. And the bad part about this is I was at I had seniors come up to me at the sign in, and they had all the vendors there. And one guy comes up to me with a 2-piece, and he's 70 years old, and he goes, "Do you think this bat is good for me?" And I said, "Depends on your bat speed." "What is your bat speed?" 60 miles an hour. I said, "No, go get a Mike Deal. Right over there, booth right over there. Put that one up and go get a Mike Deal." Because that's the one that he should be swinging with that miles per hour. Paul Sadler, DeMarini, he can handle that bat too at 50, 60 miles an hour. Once it breaks in, Mike Deal will get there a little faster. Everybody's just, and I understand it's your business and what you do, it's the way you make money. I understand that. But everybody starts to chime in and not asking questions first. Somebody was asking me the other day, and I think I'm done on that one. I already did that one. Guys, I have had, oh shit, I don't want to get close to that. Discount codes, I got another one. I have another one on the way. I have 2 more on the way. But if you go to my website, on the front page, there's no way it's that way. We're talking that long. On the front, I had discount codes on there. A couple of big ones. Big discounts. Go up there, actually click on it. It'll take you right to the website of where you want to get something. And then I have discount codes on the bottom, save you guys some money. That's why I told you I was going to do this months ago, is get all these discount codes. I have 2 other ones that are going to be worked on right now. One of them is Dudley. I forget the other one. And I didn't write it down. But yeah, www.seniorsoftballbatreviews.com. It's easy. Go on there. It's got all my top 10 fast, middle, slow bat speeds. What else was I going to talk about? Somebody talked to me the other day. I got it right here. Somebody talked to me the other day, and they said, "Dave, I do not consume protein." Protein. I do not consume. He doesn't like consuming shit. He does not consuming caffeine. I was looking for it. He does, hang on guys. He does not consuming caffeine. He hates it. And I know a lot of you guys out there don't like the caffeine. A lot of guys drink coffee in the morning to get going. I very seldom do I consume caffeine unless, especially when I'm playing. I don't like getting all jittery, shaky. So what I do is your outfitters. I told you a minute ago I was going to get to you, right? On your outfitters. And this is a plus. You need to go to health food store for one, GNC, whatever. And you need to pick you up. And this is the one that I use. It's a carb drink and it's a fast absorbing. When you walk in there, you tell the person that's working there, just go to any, I'm not going to try to plug any of them. Just go to any health food store. You ask them, I'm looking for a fast absorbing carbs that's going to give me that complex carb spike that lasts about 4 or 5 hours, right? They'll pick you up something. Then this is what I take. This is it right here. And it's backwards, I know. Get a mirror or something. And what it is, it's a carb. And you'll take it, you put it in, hell, you can do this. On your morning drink, you can put it in this, shake it around with one of those. Because this does not have any sweetener in it. I don't buy these to get sweeteners in them, right? Because that's sugar. A lot of them don't use the sugar. A lot of them don't use the stuff that's in that, which is stevia. A lot of them use aspartame. Stay the F away from aspartame, stevia, all those other artificial sweeteners. Do not consume that shit because it is shit and it'll tear your gut up. Aspartame just messes up a lot of stuff in your body, guys. I'm just telling you. This stuff, it's actually non-sweetening and it's the natural flavor. So it doesn't have a taste, it's a powder. You mix it in with this, it'll give you fuel, it'll give you complex carbs the whole day. If you're running bases, guys, and you're that outfitter out there that's running around, go down, you gotta have this in your bag. Just put water in it, just drink it, sip on it during the day. I'm not talking about guzzle it. Just sip on it during the day. You guys can consume whole grain, whole wheat bagels. I used to do that too whenever I was playing kids ball. I would stick them in my bag and I would actually just chew on those during the day. I'm not talking about stuffing down your throat, where you have a lot of stuff in your stomach to digest. This is great for that energy during the day. And if you guys are not taking, that's upside down, sorry guys. If you guys are not taking coffee, you're not drinking coffee, or your energy drinks, which I think you should stay the F away from. Don't consume energy drinks, guys. That kicks your ass. What happens when you consume too many energy drinks during the day is you don't sleep at night. You don't get that 4-hour REM. So you're pumping, right? I know you guys will try to drink alcohol or you'll try to drink a beer or something to get you kind of relaxed at the end of the night. I've seen this shit happen a lot of times with friends of mine. And you're sitting there you're in bed all night long because you consumed all them freaking energy drinks during the day. You're not getting enough sleep. What are you going to do? You're going to suck the next day at the end of the day. And you're going to peter out by the championship game. Or you guys are working way up through the loser's bracket and you're just sucking down energy. I've seen it. I played with you guys that did that shit. And I'm looking at you at the end of the tournament, I'm smoking it, right? I'm just smoking them. And you're just like, I can't play no more. I'm cramping up. And because you're cramping up, you know why you're cramping up? Caffeine. Caffeine's a diuretic. Beer's a diuretic. So you guys start cramping up. You're not taking magnesium and you're bitching and moaning at the end of the day. I can't go no more. I'm cramping up. Well, I get so mad because you're the guy that could help me win. That's why I get mad at you. And you guys played with me. You freaking know this shit. And I'm just shaking my head looking at you going, shouldn't have drank them beers last night, Never should drink all them energy drinks, with all that caffeine and all the other bullshit that's in it. So again, this is the one that I take right here. Complex carbs, fast absorbing. So you can sup on it, you can sick on it, you can do whatever you want to on it all day long. All day long. I didn't plan that. I'm probably going to run over, but who fucking cares, man? Like I always do. What I did, I was a big league dream, man, and I haven't been over there in such a long time. Glad to see nothing's fucking changed, right? Called out of the box 8 times in one game, man. 8 times. It was like, oh my. They're still going to be calling out of the box. It has not changed. They're not going to change that rule. So just watch your ass when you're over big league dreams. It's sad because teams get on a roll, you know, boom, out of the box, boom, out of the box, you're done. Go back to the dugout. Let's see if you can't start that shit. And the umpire's like all got a, he's all happy. He's all happy about that. Me and Donnie King's girlfriend was talking in the stands about this. Like, she says, this guy just thinks he's the great, and looking up in the stands and bullshitting with people in the stands and, you know, just talking and being a merry old guy. I mean, I talked about this the other day, man. I think, this is just me, I think you need to go up on the umpire price on what you're charged, what they're actually paying umpires, to get some really good quality umpires in there. That's the solution. I think it's money. Because you got a guy out there that doesn't know dick about softball, and he just wants to make a paycheck. So he's working for that little fee that you want to pay him, or you guys that pay him out there. And I just think that if you pay people good money, you're going to have good umpires. That's just me. And take care of the ones that actually are good. I'm not ripping on all you guys. Let me make that perfectly clear. So don't be sending me no shit, you know, cursing me out or saying, I need to get out there and do it if I don't like it. No, I want to try to fix a problem. That's what I'm here for. I want to try to fix a problem. So the problem that I see is you got some shitty umpires, you know, that don't know the rules. And I read it. I see it, you know. The solution, start paying your umpires a little bit more. Take care of your good umpires. They'll come back. They won't go somewhere else. Umpire somewhere. That's usually, they'll need to go umpire somewhere else and make better money. You know, take care of those people. Run you 2 umpires on the last day too. You ever come to you, not just championship games, but if you guys are playing and where the way they used to, they don't do it no more. They kind of try to get rid of a lot of 2 umpires. Seen a couple of plays the other day. If 2 umpires were there, the plays went the other way. You know, there's just different angles. Like a first base, there's an angle on first base that umpire can't see. You know, guy can drag off his foot off the bag going the other direction, and that umpire behind here is not going to see it, and he's not going to call it. It happened to me one year in a crucial game. So yeah, if you pay your umpires, you pay good umpires, you keep them there, you know, they're going to work good for you, and you're going to get that reputation. On your last day, you know, when they'll have 3 left, 4 left on your last day, run a crew of 2 out there, you know, not just the championship game, the end game, not just that game. So this is just, and please don't comment on here about, you know, if you don't like it, get out there and be I was an umpire, so I know all the umpire rules. I've been, you know, played a lot of ball for 40 something years. When guys talk about tweaking a bat, now let me tell you, tweaking. I actually think it's not tweaking. I think it's honing, you know, tuning. That's another one too, tuning. I actually think you can tune a bat. I'm going to tell you what one bat company did just recently. This is the new wig popper. And I know I got it here, I just got to find it, and I can't find it. This is the new wig popper, and it is, from what I was heard about it, you know, it's one of those ones that is it's the same one, but it has it on it. Where's it at? I can't see it now. It's down here. Anniversary edition. It'll say it down there at the bottom. Anniversary edition to the wig popper. This wig popper has been tweaked. And I'm going to show you what I call tweaking. I can't believe I can't find it now. I just had it here. Oh shit, there it is. The old wig popper, same end cap, but you see that? You see how it's in, you see how far it goes in there? That's the old, like you're actually pushing that weight a little bit further down, a little bit further down. This is what I call tweaking when you have a top performing bat. What these guys will do with a top performing bat, they'll tweak it a little bit just to make it a little bit better, right? And I'm not saying this one's better. Right? We haven't hit this one yet. I'm just saying this is what I call tweaking. You see the end, you see that where that flat that is? He actually just pulled that weight a little bit further out. That's what he did by doing that. So it's actually really flat. A lot of your bats out there, your bat companies, you guys are listening. I'll give you a little tip here. Anytime you have this where it's flush and that weight's pulled to the end, that's good. It's not a bad thing, it's good. When you guys got all that design up here on top, that's a bad thing. That's wasted space. So Just a little tip right there for you guys. So this one, like I said, you see how far that goes down in there? You actually pulled it, made a flat cap and pulled it a little bit more out to the end. That's tweaking. That's what they call tweaking. That's called tuning to me. Just making it good, something good a little bit better. Or if it performs that way a little bit better, if they did it right from the inside is what I'm talking about. What else do I have to talk to before I get into bats here? I'm not going to talk about that. Does hot weather affect bats? This is something I want to talk about in another video too. And I'm going to probably talk to my membership channel about this. And let me talk about this. Does hot weather affect bats? Yes, they do. They do not affect the carbon. They affect the rosin. You cannot, heat does nothing to the actual carbon of the bat. It's how the bat is put together that heat will affect. Does it make it like you had a hot ball out there sitting in 100-degree weather? And this is just my opinion. You got a hot ball sitting out there, 100-degree weather. How do you know? Okay, I say it does, but how do you know? Because if you have a hot ball sitting out there, 100-degree weather, you're gonna have a hot bat sitting out there, 100-degree weather. So you got to take one of them out of the equation. You know, usually what you will do is take the bat out of the equation. You stick it in 70-degree weather until you swing it and take it out there. I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm going to do that because I've done this before in the past with not the shaving, but with the rolling a bat. I've done this before to test it. So this is my plan. I've got this question a lot over the last couple of years, so I'm finally going to do it. There's really no way to find out unless you cool that barrel down and then get out there and hit 100-degree weather, which we have here in San Antonio. So one of them has to, hit a regular, 70-degree bat into a 100-degree ball. It's hard to put those two together unless you put them somewhere and then bring them out just to hit them and put them back in there. So we're going to try to do that. That's just an upcoming video because a lot of these reviews that I'm going to talk to you about are going to go away here in the next month. And I'm going to start doing that what we just talked about. Plus, it's going to get a little bit cooler. And I can work on that to actually bring a lot of that information. That's my bro science part of me, right? If you guys were watching me, I talk about bro science. So that's my bro science shit right there. I hear the theory. Right now I'm going to test the theory. I'm going to go into this and I'm going to go and talk about bats so I don't stay in here too long. It's already 9 o'clock. I've been getting, and this is a plug for my membership channel, and you guys are going to watch this, and you guys that build bats, if you guys text me and you ask me about a bat and you try to sneak around and try to get information from me, and then what you do is you build a bat on my specs, and then but just come out and ask me what I'm trying to say. Don't sit there and ask me what type of barrel, what type of swing weight, what's your balance points, and then come back and says, well, what flex in the barrel and handle that you want, and I'm like, hold on, if you want me to build a bat for you, just ask me to build a bat for you, and then I have another guy ask me about balance points, what do you consider a half ounce, what do you consider a full ounce, what do you consider 3/4 ounce, what do you consider balanced? What do I consider? Because mine is different than a lot of bat manufacturers out there, Suncoast especially. Miken too a little bit from last year. Not this year, not so much, but the Johnny Bailey should have less hand weight in my opinion, especially when you go up in weight. They load the shit out of the hands. Suncoast and that 3/4, that reloaded, that should be a balanced bat because they got 10.5 in the hands. So a lot of people are asking me, what are mine? Easy way for you guys to find out. And I say everything on that channel. That's my membership channel. You guys want to learn how to build bats? Join that membership channel. I'm just not going to give you the shit for free. All right? So and you guys know I've already got one segment out. If you're on that membership channel, I already got one segment out on end loads, the weight right here, and how to better it. So you guys on that membership channel, I'm telling you how to build a bat. I'm not going to just put that shit out there and you guys call me. And you guys call me and go, what do I need to do this? And then 2 months later, you come out and go, I was in research and development we are working on this bat, and this is what I came up with. Boom. I got tired of that shit, right? I didn't get no freaking paycheck from you asking me these questions. I'm gonna put them on the membership channel. You know, at least those guys get all the information. They're paying me $5-10 a month. You know, I give them that information. So if you guys don't ask me again, don't call me and ask me, get on that membership channel. I say everything on that membership channel. Everything's on there, you know. And I told you guys when I started that membership channel, that's where it was going to go. It's going to go right in there. So don't call me and have me build your bats for you. And then you sit out there and go, I developed this. Guys, it had happened in the past for years. It happened so bad where Billy told me, you need to shut your mouth. Mr. Blake told me I need to shut my mouth. And I'm like, yeah, Billy, I'm pretty sure you're right. Billy was like, well, we're not getting paid for that shit. Shut your mouth. Okay, I'll do it. But on the membership channel, all goes. You can get on that and find out what the hell I'm doing or how to do it better. You've already come this far. Why not go a little further? All right, talk about bats now. I'm looking at shit I could get into, but I'm not going to. A lot of you guys asked me about Juno, to actually do a Juno senior bat. Monster's probably the biggest right now. Monster, I guess, has a senior bat out there or something that they're developing. And that's another one too. There is a bat out there right now. I'm going to get the bats I don't have, I'm going to talk about right now. Monster's one. A lot of people ask me about that bat. Then the next one is there is a bat company, a new bat company out that Fat Guy BP just did a review on. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you can chime in here. This Fat Guy BP is just did a review on, and that bat sounded really good when they were hitting it. And then he texted me on the side and said, you need to get one of these bats. And when he tells me I need to get one, I usually go out there. I did that with the Masteries, and I did that with the Dudley. And then the Proton too. So hang on, I have the Pure. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Talking about bats that I don't have right now. So Monster, and then that other one, I forget the name of it, and I can't pull it up on my phone because I actually took a screenshot of it. But he was just hitting it the other day. It's from a new bat company, and it sounds really good, and performance on it was really good. And he was actually comparing it to the Masteries bat and the Dudley, but not as quite as sounding the same way a little bit, or it was sounding the same way. Anyway, let me get to what I have to talk about here. If you're on that membership channel, I got 2 bat giveaways before the first. Next week, I have 2 bat giveaways that I'm going to do on the top tier bats that I need to do with you guys too, because I know my membership guys look at this. So I have 2 bat giveaways that are coming up within a week that I need to get out to you guys. Y'all guys remember this bat? Y'all guys can see that? The old, that says 13 inch, but that's a 12 inch. But you guys remember that knob? You remember that knob out there? I don't even know if that really took off because it's hard to hang on to that knob. But I got this, it was actually on eBay, and I think I paid like $40, $50 for it off of eBay. Just something to have around the house. What was the name of it? That's it. I think that's it. The Pure Bat, we're actually going to start hitting this next week. We actually have hit it, and we're going to hit it some more. It'll be next week, and then we'll let you guys know. Is that the same one? That's another one, I think. This is the one, yeah, I actually did it. This is the one we're going to be hitting next week. This is a brand new one. This is the one we're going to be hitting next week. It's the new Pure out. And we're going to be hitting that one. I'm going to do Facebook Live on a lot of these from next week. 2-piece Sin City. I did a short video on this the other day. Finally got it to open up. Mark Reeves was hitting it. You guys seen the video. And we're hitting this bat. It's a 2-piece Sin City. It's got the flat. See what they did right there? It's got the flat end cap. And we're going to be hitting this next week too. Let you guys know what we think about it. We have a couple of our guys, Chino and Trey, I think, are going to Vegas, so they'll be swinging their own bats there. Dudley, balanced bat. We're going to finish up this one. It's a 1-piece. we're going to finish up this. The balance bat is 16.5, 9.9 on the handle, 16.5 on the end. I don't want to talk about that yet. There's 3 of them right there. Get these, a lot of this shit out of the way. No, not that one. Proton 2-piece right here. This is the hot butter. This is the 2-piece bat, and along with that one, we did that one. Along with that one is the regular 2-piece bats. A lot of you guys were asking me. About putting my weights inside. You know, what are they? Proton. What Proton did is they got this 2-piece, 13-inch barrel, I think it is. This is the Series 2, the Neon Series. This is a 1-ounce end load. 16.7 on the end, 9.5 on the hands, which is a little less than 1 ounce, but you know, I'm just gonna say 1 ounce because that's what's on his website. So we get the heavier bats. Usually what we do is, because they have a 1/2 ounce end load, you know, you're not gonna get that performance out of that. You know, you'll swing it good, but you won't get that out. That the big 1 ounce end load we get better performance on. So when you're swinging a 1/2 ounce end load, it's kind of performance gonna go down a little bit. Balance bat, same way. The performance, you know, unless the barrel softens up. So that's just with Proton. I'm not talking about mic and the mic deal, because what happens with that bat is it's a different bat. It's not the same bat on the same shell. So we're gonna do balance on this one too. That'll start next week, and this is the 2-piece that's gonna be out next. These are good bats. This is a good bat. This is the 1-ounce end load that we're hitting. Same thing with the hot butter. Hot butter is a 1-ounce end load too. You can see those weights, 17.95. 17.95 on the end. 26 ounce. Wow, what do I got next? This one I just got the other day from Anarchy. Gas. Anarchy Gas. You know what I like about this bat? It's a 2-piece. I think that's a 12-inch barrel. Is that hand? That hand is small handle on it. And you can see it goes all the way up. It's black. It's got the flames on it. But apparently this bat, see, look at that shit. It's just flat as hell. The Anarchy Gas. We haven't swung it yet. Just got it the other day. Look at these weights, 16.8 and 8.6. Those are good. Those are good. 3/4 ounce, a little more, well, might be an ounce, because you got 8.6 on the hands. So that might be an ounce. The cam, I put up some reviews on those Anarchies when I was in Vegas. Those are coming out last couple of days. This is the 50 cal. This is the Anarchy. This review will be up next week. It's got 17.4 on the end, 9.3 on the hands. 1-ounce end load. It's a 13-inch barrel, looks like. Same thing, thin all the way up in here. I think the other one's got thinner hands on it. But both of them have thin hands. Again, Robo 17, Louisville, TPS. This one's gonna be hit next week too. We'll actually do some video on it, let you guys know. 16.992 on the hands. You know, I like the way these guys are loading their bats. Everybody that I'm talking about, the way they're loading their bats. One thing you guys saw on, this is one of them. Oh, man. Us hitting last week. These are the new Onyx bats. These are the new Onyx bats. This 12-inch right here. You know, medium to hard barrel right now. Might soften up a little bit. It's hard barrel starting off. Great performance starting off. Hot out of the wrapper. These are good bats. You've seen us hit them. We put up the video before we went to Vegas, right here. This is a 12-inch. We will be hitting those next week again. This is the Enough Said 13.5. Another very good bat. This one's got about 600 swings on it, guys. There's striations all up and down that barrel. It performs very well. This was already in my top 3. Both bats are already in my top 3. Talked about them a minute ago. This is Wig Popper. This is the new series, and you can see they changed it up here a little bit. They changed up the paint a little bit. It's a lot more matte finish, which I think is a good thing when it comes to bats. I think it grabs the ball a little bit better. We'll be hitting this next week too. Got a few of our guys that actually, these are they're gamers, Trey especially. Wig Popper is his gamer, so I'm gonna kind of let all of us swing it. You know, I'm gonna let all the guys swing it, and then we're gonna see if this has changed in performance. Because remember, this is like my number one in that middle category. And we're gonna hit it. I'll let you guys know how it performs. A lot of people ask me about this bat because they saw the video of it. This is the new soft barrel Onyx. Remember, Onyx never put out soft barrels other than the Greg Cerna. That was the only one. I love that bat because it got soft. So this is the two-piece, 12-inch barrel, 17.1 on the end, 8.6. Carlos went up, which I think, here's the thing about what he did with this new line of Onyx bats. He went up on the hand weight, made them an 8.5, 8.6, 8.7. We have better control, so more consistency. Barrel's hotter than all of his other bats. I'm just telling you, because the same thing they asked me up in Vegas at the table. These barrels are hotter than previous Onyx bats. This one's softer barrel. You know, this one I'm just gonna swing, not the other guys, not Trey, the other guys. I have 3 of them. I think the other ones in the world. But they're not, I'm just bullshitting you. But these are the ones that we're gonna have. A lot of people asking us because this is the first, it's softer than the Greg Cerna was, but not that soft. It got a good trampoline effect on it. I love the way this bat swings, and I'll be hitting it next week. I might do Facebook Live on it next week. What do I talk about now? That's another one of those bats. 2 more bats to talk about and I'm done. I do want to talk about these before I talk about these. See how I flashed that in front of you? You don't know if it's an OG or you don't know if it's a new one, right? No, you can't. Sorry, Trey. The biggest bat breaker we have. Suncoast. A little bit more shinier fluorescent. I actually like that color. It's black and a fluorescent orange. I like the fluorescent orange. That's my color, one of my colors. This is the new Reloaded. Did they put a 3 on it or whatever? No, they did not. I'm curious to see how this bat's gonna swing. And again, guys, they call it a Reloaded 12-inch barrel. It's a one-piece bat. There's no connection there. It's actually a one-piece bat. Let's keep these numbers in mind. It is a 26.5, oh, 27.5. It's a 27.5. It's got 16.5 on the end, and it's got 10.4 on the hands. Again, guys, this is gonna be a balanced bat. I don't care what the Reloaded says, just me, it's gonna go in the balance category. Now, watch these numbers. I'm gonna show you some numbers here. You remember those numbers? Remember those numbers, 16.5, because I'm a bat scaling guy, 16.5, 10.4. They come out with the mega load, 1 ounce end load. That's supposed to be a 3/4. This is a 1 ounce. What do you think these numbers are? I cannot wait. This is a 2-piece. I cannot wait to swing this bat because of this. 26.5. It's a 26.5. Total weight's 26 ounces. 17 on the end. 8 on the hands. This is a 1 ounce end load. 8 on the hands. That's how come I'm giving this other one so much shit. 10.4, 8. Not a 3/4 ounce. This is a badass load. This is a true 1 ounce load. 17, 8. I cannot wait. This is gonna be the first bat I pick up next Tuesday when I hit. Right here. And none of my guys can be able to swing it. Just me. Because I love those numbers. I've always liked the way in the past talking about 2 years ago, the way Suncoast would load these bats. You know, they got away from the hand weight. Now they're going back to it. This bat is a mega load, and it actually is a mega load. 1 ounce end load, you can feel it, got that thin hands. I picked this bat up, I'm like, shoo. That might sleep with me tonight. I don't know yet. Now, everybody been talking about this. You see it? And if you guys are sticking around this long, 49 guys, you want to hear about this bat. I asked so many questions on that bat. Couldn't get an answer. You just gotta swing them, Dave. Holy shit. I just want to show you shit that I actually do. What we got here is Bobby Nifong. We have the new, if you guys can see that, we have the new Lightning, the OG, and then we have the Masteries, right? Look at that. It's made on the same machine. You can see, made on the same machine. There's no variance in anything on it, right? Nothing. So that tells me they're made on the same machine, right? They're not made on different machines. I'm gonna put these up because I don't need them anymore. This is the OG. This is the 2.0, not an OG. The OG and the 2.0 were made on the same machine. But if you compare them to each other, they're off. Like the taper going into the barrel is off. I'm not saying they're not true 12-ounce inloads, but what they're doing is they're off a little bit. So they weren't made on the same machine as the 2.0 or the OG, because OG was made on this machine, 2.0 was made on the same machine. Both bats are the same. And when I talk about taper, I'm talking about the thickness going into here, right? All the thickness that's going into here. But this bat does look really good. I mean, you can tell the way I don't know if you guys can see that. You see that the way they did the, actually OGs were the same way. With actually like a clear coat. You can see the fiber underneath it. I think that's pretty badass. It's got that grip spin technology. But guys, I'm just telling you, if they compare to the Masteries and the Nifong and the Party Time, they're going to be badass bats. But I just need to swing them to find out if they do compare to those bats, and it's my time to get off. And I'm just going to swing them and let you guys know if they do compare to those bats, or if they are softer, because I heard from somebody they're a little bit softer, not much. If they are, that's a great thing, you know, because they'll get out of that hard barrel, hard swinging, hard bat speed line that I got them in, and then maybe move to 2 of them or down a little bit further to that medium one and the soft barrel one. Yeah, they do, but that doesn't mean shit to me. I've been told that, and then get out there and swing them. They're totally different monsters because they can tweak it. Now, they can tune it if they have it on the machine. This means they're made on the same machine. Doesn't mean anything. It means that it's made on the same machine. They can tweak the carbon, you know, do that shit, and it's going to make it perform different or last longer or whatever. I did hear that they do last longer. But I'll let you guys know next week. I know for a fact we're swinging those next week too. That when I get the 50s are coming in, 40s are this week in Vegas, and these are videos we want to get out for you guys. Good freaking question. Somebody said in there, what's the numbers on it? This is the 27 ounce, and I'm glad you said that because I totally forgot about that. 27 ounce, 26.5. You got a 17 ounce end load, and you got a 9.3 on the hands. You see them? That's on a 27 ounce. I like those numbers, right? Now you're going down to a 26 ounce. This one has 16.6 on the end, 16.6 on the end, and it's got an 8.8 on the hands. Again, when you're getting into those 8s, if you're getting those 8s, that's good. The 9.2 is good. I mean, I like the way they're loaded. They go in half-ounce increments. Somebody told me the other day, one of the guys told me the other day that they're loaded just like the OGs or the 2.0s. No, they're not. Those hand weights were in the 9.4s, 9.3s. None of them were in the 8s. So they're not loaded like those. I remember what those were years ago. And I remember that they did perform for a low 8 handle weight, you know, but Dudley always kept their handle weight in that low 9s, which I think is a good thing. Actually get a little bit better consistency, and the barrel actually helped it perform, and the flex actually helped it perform. But if you guys remember that 16.8 on the 8.8, 16.8, 8.8 on the 26, and it's got 17 on the end on the 27, and it's got 9.3 on the hands. Again, going in half-ounce increments on each side, I think is a good thing. There was something else I want to tell you too that I forgot. You guys get all this stuff? You see that? Just real quick here. You guys see all that shit on there? When you peel it, especially on the Dudleys, I think you get a little bit on the short porch bats too. You know, they don't come off as good. You guys need to peel it off. I'm telling you, peel it off at least to where your hands go, right here. See, this one goes another 6 inches up. You got to peel that off. If you guys watch my shit, peel all that off, because it's actually restricting the flex a little bit too, just a little bit. And a little bit means a lot. Like I said, you know, 900 and 800, you know, so you need to peel all that off up to here. Up here, it really doesn't matter as much. I just like having a really thin handle, and I don't like to have my handle being hampered by any kind of, you know, stability from keeping it from flexing. So guys, that's it. I'm on here too long. I think that's it. I'm gonna come out again, starting up every weekend, every Sunday. I'm gonna come up with these. Hopefully they'll get shorter where other people can get on behind me and talk. I think I talk too much anyway. Don't be a dick to each other. Be nice. Go up to my YouTube channel, subscribe. Guys, you wanna join that membership, you'll learn a lot more about bats. And thanks. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I got a couple more here that I want you to take a look at. And if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button right down here below. And I also have a membership channel. It's that little join button that you have right down here. Click on it, and it actually has a small video in there that explains everything in the membership. Plus, it actually helps support what we do. Thanks, guys.